Hello, everyone, and welcome to Newly Forged. We are a 5e actual play stream that takes place in the world of Newly, which came out of my brain, and 6 of my friends are brave enough to play in. I've got it. Thank you for resubscribing. That is 42 months. Holy bananaskins.
What?
Yeah, 42 months. I'm going to relocate this mic so it's a little more conducive to my world here. As you might, as you might tell, I am not at home this week, so apologies for any and all technical, weird, glitchy things. Hopefully, everything runs smoothly. So that'll be fun to figure out. You might notice I will be turning my head a lot to do weird things because instead of monitors up here, I've got one down here and one over here. So sorry about it. But as you might notice, 3 of our friends are not with us at the moment. They will be along shortly, within the next half hour to 45 minutes or so. They should reappear.
Or so they claim.
So they claim. So we'll have a nice little leisurely intro session. I would love for someone to roll a D30, which is going to be fun. Oh God, I got to fix Tanner's screen because Tanner
Sorry.
is...
A
No.
30.
Yeah, why the hell not?
D30 a thing?
You can roll it. You can just type D30 and it'll do the hard work for you. It's not your fault, Tanner. It's just
It's just weird dice. What? Oh.
no.
Yeah.
I just
Wrong, so I was finishing stuffing my face.
yeah, which I respect. Cool.
I'm just stuffing my face on camera. Sorry, y'all.
It's all good. It's all good.
Remember who has the manners here? Out of the two
Certainly not.
nobles.
Certainly not me.
All right. So that is a 25, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's weird. Hold on. One moment. Chat feed. Let's see. Ah, that would be why. There we go. Now I got you. All right, so a 25. Well, friends who are here, I would like you to introduce yourself, your characters, and please answer the question, who was your character's best friend during their teenage years? This can be, of course, something that you've thought about. If you are not sure you want to reveal this information because it may tie into your backstory a little bit, you can lie. Or you can give a name and just be like, yeah, when I was friends, it was this kid. Or just describe the kind of relationship that you may have had. The choice is yours. It's open-ended, and it's not like you're going to be graded on it. I've got it. I'm glad that you are stuffing your face. I have not had time because of my travel schedule, so I'm going to eat afterwards in a town where who knows what may or may not be open. Not New York anymore. Well, I am, but not the city. So
Yeah, shit upstate closes early.
it does, but I think there's a something that's open till 11 around here. I seem to remember that. So we'll find
I'm
out.
mad I can't order bagels at 2 in the morning anymore.
That is a crime. It is, but
Dreadful, really.
c'est la vie. C'est la vie. I hope everyone can hear me okay. My room is, I'm sure, a bit echoey because it's a sparse hotel room, but here's hoping. So, let's start with our friendly neighborhood, Sarah.
Hey,
it
that's
did the
me.
name thing again.
I'm your friendly neighborhood Sarah. And I play Endra Grandspark, who is a halfling wizard. And I think that her best friend as a teenager was probably her older brother, Theodoric. He's 4 years older than her and was definitely the most friendly of her siblings, of which she has several. And I think she probably didn't really mix with the neighboring children or anything very much. So I think she probably spent her teenage years, hanging out with her cool older brother.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Cool. Wonderful. Scrolling on down, we'll hit up Tanner.
Hi, I'm Tanner. I'm playing Lunine, the what is my class even called anymore?
You are a fighter, and
Yeah.
you don't have to give away your subclass yet because there's actually going to be some narrative elements in here. But so everybody knows, indeed, all of our characters have leveled up since the last session. Everyone is now level 3, which is fun and exciting. So some folks have selected their new subclass, and some of those subclasses are custom. So we'll see.
If anybody wants to know how many shark and crabs it takes to get from 2 to 3, it's a lot.
Well,
but yeah, I'm a hex blood fighter. Best friend growing up is his friend Pierce.
wonderful. Fantastic. Thank you.
That's that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Next up, we've got Mike.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mike. I play Renata Solangel, the half-elf bard warlock. And for childhood best friend or friends, prior to coming to this continent, he had a band before, so he was close to those guys.
Fair enough.
Keep it a little more vague.
Yeah, very cool. Unfortunately, due to multi-classing, Mike has not been able to choose his subclass yet. But
Wah, wah.
it'll happen. You've got other cool things because of your multi-classing, so that's fun. And I am Jared. I play
More than viciously mock.
It's true. My name is Jared. I am your humble dungeon master here on Nuuli Forged. I play everyone and everything else that is not the 6-player characters, and I had no friends as a child, which is why I now play this game. No, there were other reasons. But yeah. That is that. I have updated. Actually, I've got it. If you would give me the Andra command again, I just edited it. I thought I had gotten everybody, but I guess I missed Andra on the last command edit.
Apparently, I'm still level 2.
Not anymore. You're officially level 3. Thank you so much. I've got it. Much appreciated. And thank you for the Pikachus at the top of the stream. That's very nice. Cool. All right. Well, since folks are going to be kind of trickling in over the next little bit here, let's dive into last time on Nuuli Forged, which means I need to get out of this screen and go to this screen. Ooh. My mouse is not as responsive/reactive as I am used to it being, because it is on a piece of paper on a glass top desk. So it is
Less than ideal.
very much so less than ideal. All right. Last time on Nuuli Forged, the moss-eaten mold and her crew were attacked by the circling koi, the dreaded ship of the pirate captain Scurvy Sapfoot Jones. The battle was fierce, with ballista and mangonels flying at range until the pirate ship pulled up close to the moss-eaten mold, and the crew aboard boarded her. There the battle began in earnest, with wave after wave of pirates swarming onto the little green ship. But ultimately, our heroes turned the tide by use of various spells that lit things on fire, things that, and just straight up killing folks as they were on the other ship or crossing over. But they were able to slay or subdue the enemy vessel, even securing the dread pirate Captain Jones in order to gain a portion of his bounty along with the Mold's crew, as per agreed upon by Captain Kevin Saltcrust. A few days later, the ship entered the Walls Shores, the region of the western side of Johanna that has towering cliff faces, kind of like Cliffs of Dover style, except limestone instead of chalk, and granite, and like big, tall, sheer, craggy cliffs. And made their way up in through along the coast towards the tiered city of Cliffside, a city that it turns out is set within these mighty cliffs, consisting of multiple levels, one on top of the other, some of which, or portions of which, can be seen from a giant crag or wound that is in this side of the cliffs. Once there, they were granted access by the dockmaster, a surly old orc named Gralt Smash, and secured transport for their cargo to its final destination through the city streets of this strange repurposed city. Which, by the way, this city, as you learned last time, the recap is now done. We're just going to have a little session here. As you learned last time, the city of Cliffside is made up of multiple levels. You haven't learned much about them yet, but you know that you know a couple of them. Obviously, this dock level you know about, having kind of walked around a little bit of it. But there is also the spray catch, which you have heard about, which that is where the shop that you are dropping these rugs off are in. Good Homes and Warrens is up in the spray catch.
What was the one that was like something that I used to get in elementary school for mosquito bites? I feel like there is something. Calamine's lotions.
Yes, there is some kind of potion shop that you've... I don't actually know if you've heard about it, but it has been mentioned above the game with
I just remember
Corvus.
the name, but since, he's not here yet.
Yeah, Corvus knows about Calamine's lotions, which is also a place that exists here.
That's okay. So that one was, we're going to the rug shop. Calamine's lotions was kind of like his personal area.
Yeah, the only one who may know about Calamine's lotions, other than Corvus, is Ozo. But nobody else does.
Both,
Well, Ozo just might know because Corvus may have told them. I don't know if that actually occurred. That's a question for those player characters who will be along shortly.
I just want, because I have that one in my notes, so I just want to make sure that that one's not for us.
Yeah. No, good on you. I mean, you may see it as you wander through. So, what's to say? But you did pick up a cart and a labor team to help load and steer this cart that you've rented. You have had it unloaded from the moss-eaten mold. It's taken a bit of time just because paperwork needs to clear and all that kind of stuff. But you are successful in getting everything loaded up. Corvus is busy kind of talking to the local crew to like make sure they know where to go and like talking directions and doing all that kind of navigatory stuff. Ozo's just in the front seat with the guy driving, kind of helping, or not driving. It's a cart, so there's one guy who's kind of like leading the pack. So they don't weigh much, so they're kind of up on the cart, kind of keeping an eye out and looking around. checking things out. And Selenar is just kind of looking around. Selenar is looking a little drawn into himself, and as though he's unsure or uncomfortable with what his surroundings currently are as you venture further into the city. For indeed, you find that you do have to go inside the city quite a bit, away from what is known as the Scar, which is that outward opening that faces the seaside there. Out away from the Scar, deeper into the city of Cliffside, you can see that the buildings down here on the dock level have mostly been repurposed for maritime pursuits, or like augments of that. Like there's fishing supply stores and like net repair. And all these buildings are stone and have right angles a lot of the time, or are geometric in shape. There's not much of an organic feel to any of these buildings as you walk through this city. But yet, none of you can escape the fact that there is an antiquity here. Like, even though it's cleaned up, there's wear and tear on some of the stones that look like they've been there for hundreds or if not thousands of years. I would like everyone to go ahead and make a perception check, please.
I used to be good at this.
Well, Tanner has made yet another character that's very good at perceiving things, so...
Listen, not... what was it? Adis was great at wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nereus failed every single saving throw. He got tossed for wisdom, so...
Giveth and taketh, you know?
Yep.
But it's all good. Lunine, what you're noticing here is that the streets are lit with like torches and lamplights. The lamps are incredibly bright, like as though they're brighter than like a brazier should be. It's almost wrong. Like it's weird to you. You come from a place where having artificial light is kind of necessary because where you're from, the sun doesn't really exist in the sky. It's kind of below the horizon, and the moon is what's dominant all the time. So you're used to kind of firelight and camplight and that kind of stuff, and starlight and moonlight and such things. But it's like, you know, it's somehow brighter than it should be, which is a little weird. And as you walk, you also occasionally see little waterways, little aqueducts that are kind of like running between buildings or like down into communal wells that are like off of this main thoroughfare, which is full, by the way, of all kinds of people going about their business. There's a lot of like halflings and gnomes. There's a plethora of humans and people of orcish descent and a few of elvish descent. I believe last time Andra figured out that this was a dwarven city, in terms of its architecture and everything. You notice no actual dwarves walking around. Like, you've all heard of dwarves before, but I don't think any of you have ever met one. So it's kind of strange to be in this city that was built by a people who are no longer in it. And as such, things have been repurposed for others. So some of the door frames are a little like shorter than they should be, or things like of that nature. And you can tell certain ones have been like heightened and like have had doors replaced to kind of fit in like an expanded open doorway kind of deal.
So like sinks are my height?
They're a little taller. I mean, you don't know exactly how tall a dwarf is, but you know they're shorter than like all these like medium-sized humanoids, but they're generally
They're
taller than
closer to my height
halflings.
than
You don't have
closer
to.
to my height than they usually are.
Yeah, you're not the one ducking, whereas me and
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, it seems fine.
Renata are ducking for every doorway.
Well, like the main thoroughfare, luckily, has been expanded, and so anything that's been too low overhanging has been rejiggered to kind of fit most stuff. But it seems like a lot of stuff is at least 10 feet tall, which if a dwarf is say 5 feet tall, then like that's twice as tall, so they wouldn't have to worry about it.
I'm not proficient in Arcana. I'm just curious, for those torches, could I do an Arcana or even maybe a history check to see if I know of any? I'm just curious if it's like magical.
You can absolutely make either check depending on which one you do. You'll get different results.
Well, I'm proficient in history, so I'll take that one.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
16.
Wonderful. With a 16, you have heard that there are different cultures that have like created different technologies. Yours has done one with the opal wood, for example. Mm-hmm. You've learned how to fashion that into weapons and armor and all kinds of cool stuff. You're pretty confident you've heard of what is called fixated glass, which is a type of glass that either dwarves or Azers or either an earth elemental or a fire elemental got involved somehow, and it's a refined process of glass that kind of makes the glass perpetually convex, or concave, so that it expands whatever is within it to make it output more. It's sort of akin to a Fresnel lens in a way. But instead of like stepped up ridges to help diffuse the light, it is the actual just smooth glass itself has been treated in such a way where it does that. So you think that's kind of what?
So it seems more of like a technological thing than a used purely magic.
Yeah, at least down here on this level. Further up in higher levels or like deeper in, who's to say? Which, by the way, the like structures that are like over the road are about 10 feet above the ground, but there's a cavernous roof like over this level that you're walking through, which is like 30 feet in the air. And so some of the buildings go up to that roof and others don't. And you can see that there are stairways that like carve into the rock wall and seem to go up from here. So it's pretty evident that stairs are a big way of getting around here. But as you're pulled through or guided through by your hirees, you find yourselves being brought to a area where there's a bunch of people standing around, kind of going into what looks like a little alcove, and then they close a gate in front of it, and then the alcove seems to go up, and then people wait.
We're in a gated community, guys.
Yeah. And people wait, and then the alcove comes back down, and people get in this new alcove. Sometimes people get off the alcove. It seems like there's a way to do things here. Your hirees knows how to do it, and
Does the cart fit in the alcove?
It does. It seems like these alcoves are designed to like move stuff around. They're like freight alcoves or something. So what happens here is you go into one that's kind of off to one side, past a few others, and it's got a number or some kind of sigil etched into it, next to it. Are any of you proficient or have knowledge of the Dwarven alphabet?
Nah.
Okay.
I didn't even know that was something we're allowed to choose.
I mean, none of you would have a reason to, so.
Nah.
New.
Luckily, under it, something has been written with paint. And you can see it's labeled with the common symbol for the letter S and the common symbol for the number 3. So it seems like this is indicating somehow S3, whatever that means. But eventually it's your turn. Your cart is loaded in along with all of you. And they close this like gate behind you. And after a moment, you hear a loud kerchunking and then a ka-chink, 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 ka-chink. And then you feel the alcove begin to rise up.
Whoa!
Yeah. You are... And there are a couple lanterns in here. There are like 4 lanterns that seem to be rising with the alcove. They appear like normal, like oil lanterns kind of vibe. And so, yeah.
Do we hear like machine, like is it mechanical or is it magical?
So go ahead and make an Arcana check to see if you can figure that out. Because after those first few ka-chunks, it's fairly quiet. Like you hear like stone gliding on stone, but no other big noises.
I am proficient in Arcana.
Okay, with a 16, you look around. You don't see any runes carved anywhere. There's no, there's no runes. There's no practitioners. There's no glowing buttons or anything like that. There's just
the guy in a pointy hat in the corner.
There's a guy next to a lever of some kind. So the fact that there is a lever in there makes you think that it's not magical, but you can't rule it out either. Like it could be augmented with magic in some capacity, perhaps.
Sure.
Little hard to know for sure with a 16. Some time goes by, maybe 5 minutes or so, and all of a sudden you see light begin to pour in from the top as the alcove rises up, and then slowly an opening appears and the alcove fits in this opening, and there's another gate that is opened for you by an attendant on the other side, and the gate swings out of the way, and you exit out into a much different neighborhood. This neighborhood has a lot more kind of generic shops and businesses and residential area kind of vibes to it. You see a lot more like kids like running through the streets, having fun, playing around. People carrying like groceries and doing shopping. You've all been in a city oftentimes enough where you get the vibe that this is like where people live and not where people work. Unless they like work in the shops. So walking around, you notice a few couple things. With a 20 Lunine, you see a couple of signs that seem to be important. One of them, with 300 meters this way kind of thing, is something called Pike's Point, which you see multiple signs for that giving directions to that location. Yeah, Pike's Point.
Can I ask our cart guide?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What Pike's Point is?
Oh yeah, that's the headquarters of the Pikes. They're like our city watch or a city guard. Yeah, the Pikes are, they do their job. They're different from the Salt Guard, though. The Salt Guard they're up in the high levels. They kind of defend the city against like outward invaders from like up top. If somebody like tried to like a raiding party tried to come down, like that's what the Salt Guard does. The pikes, you know, you can't miss them. They walk around with blue armor and big tall pikes. Yeah, like, you know, big weapons.
Does the city get raided from the surface often?
Well, you know, we've only been here for like 80 years, so in the early days there was a lot of problems like that. Not so much these days. So the Salt Guard, at least to my knowledge, you know, I'm all the way down in the docks, so what do I know? But I don't hear about nothing very much, so... the Pillars are also pretty good about like welcoming in people who have like had it rough to like try and convert them. My grandfather was actually a raider, you know, 70, 80 years ago, who the Pillars let come on in after he was repelled by the Salt Guard at the time. So,
And the Pillars are...
oh, the Pillars run the place. They're like our council. There's 3 of them. Yeah. The first pillar is Talbert Hangfin. He's kind of a gruff, middle-aged dude. You know, he's okay. Then there's a human woman, Clara Dowding. She and Hangfin don't get along too well. And then the third pillar is an orcish woman, Kitgra. She seems to have her shit together. I like her. But yeah, they meet up. You know, they meet up in the heart tier.
To be a lot of tears.
Well, yeah, you know, there's like 4 main sections, and then there's, you know, like the docks are the 3 bottom levels of the city. So that's like the 3 ones. You got D1, D2, and D3. You start at 3 or at 1 at the bottom because you come in there first, and then you go 1, 2, 3 up. And then there's the spray catch. The spray catch, it's got 4 levels. It's where a lot of people live and like do their day-to-day shopping, that kind of stuff. It's the main neighborhood areas. Because like we don't go, and you've noticed this, by the way. You haven't gone more than like 500 or 600 feet away from the opening, the scar. But you can tell that there's buildings and cavern like that goes deeper, but it seems like they haven't expanded that far yet. Mm-hmm. So there's 4 levels in the spray catch, all kinds of shops, and almost anything you could want, that's where you'll find it. And then there's the heart tier above that, and that's got 3 levels. And that's where like the rich people live, and like the movers and shakers, and like the really exclusive shops where like you gotta have like 5 gold to enter the place kind of deal.
Sure.
Yeah. But that's where like the main bank's up there. Shant College is up there. There's a real big casino up there. I can't remember the name of it right now. But the obelisk is also up there. That's where the pillars meet. You can't miss it. It's a big obelisk, circular building. There's also the Holy Road is up there. That's where a lot of like the temples and stuff are, if you're into gods. But who's into gods these days, right? And then above that is the Heights. The Heights are the top 5 tiers of the city. And that's where like we keep all of our livestock and all of our farms and stuff. So like that's where a lot of the city's vegetable gardens and stuff are. It's really interesting up there. It's cool. The blockade's up there. That's where the Salt Guard is. There's also the Solarium is up there, which is this strange building that, I don't know, some people say it's a gift from the guiding light that, helps illuminate all the crops and whatever so they can grow. I don't quite get how it works, but, as long as it grows, right? And the cliff farms are up there. I think there's another temple up there, but I don't know. Who cares?
Like you've got quite the setup here.
Yeah, we're very proud of what we've done in the last 80 or so years, and it's been hard. It's been a lot of work, but it's good. People are pretty safe here. We got a little bit of crime and troubles. That's why we need the pikes. Sometimes they can be dicks, but the commander is pretty reliable. If you ever need him, of course, you can find him at the point, Pike's Point, which is, you follow those signs, and he points out to a sign. But the commander is Perko Cogsboggle. He's Perko Cogsbottle. He's the commander, and he's an energetic little feller. He's a gnome. We got a lot of them, the short folk around here, which, fine with me. Got no problem with it.
Is there an entertainment district?
Well, there's a couple.
What do you mean by entertainment?
Music.
I see we have a Matt.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
I gotta do a little quick thing.
Got to rearrange the thing.
Yeah,
I'm magic, I'm sorry.
No. You're good.
I can be a pink dot.
No, I would much rather we have you as you are. I just need to do that.
That's very sweet. I keep forgetting in Wiz to make 2 scenes, a blue scene for D&D and a red scene for battles. So I keep having to do it manually.
Fair. Oh, and there we have an amber.
Oh, well,
Here we
great.
go.
Well, wonderful. Then I don't need to do that scene. Wonderful. So here we are. Great. So you are all currently walking through. You've just taken essentially a cubicle or a little alleyway has
Freight alcove.
a freight alcove has brought you up to a new level of the city. Renata has just asked if there is an entertainment district to one of your guides, to which Renata, you get the response. Well, there's Shant College, of course, is like where all the kind of people go who do that stuff. It's dedicated to the study of like arts, entertainment, history, lore, all that kind of wild stuff. There's a bunch of like spas and there's the casino that's pretty big. Like any kind of inn or tavern you got. Like there's one that I like to go to back in the docks, where we get all kinds of cool stuff. It's the Ruddy Plank. The Ruddy Plank is like the
We've
best.
heard of that one.
Yeah, it's the best bar or the best tavern in all the docks. So definitely you should check that out. I don't know where you're planning on staying, but like it's good to go. They get in different talent from time to time. They get in like orators and singers and dancers and all kinds of stuff. The woman who runs the place, she really likes to vary it up. But like up here, I think there's one up in the heart tier that's like super high pricey stuff. Can't remember where. I've never been. But there's all kinds of stuff around. People at that college, they can definitely like help you out if you're looking for entertainment, I guess. They probably know everybody.
Cool. And where are we now?
Oh, so we're in Spray Catch 3. Because we're going to your good homes and Warrens. That's where that guy, and he points up to Corvus, said that these were being delivered. So that's where.
Yeah. I was just trying to get my bearings here of where in this.
Yeah, like the stairs are usually well marked. They're marked by the letter of the level and then the number of the tier. So like the spray catches are like S123, and like the docks are D123, or spray catches it goes from S1 to S4, and then the docks go from D1 to D3. The heart tier is H1 to H3, and then the heights are a little confusing because there's the heart tier and the heights. The heights is T for top, so that's T1 through 5. Yeah, it's like whoever thought of it forgot that they both had the same letter after they were named. So whatever.
Who was that guy?
Some asshole.
I don't know who it was. That was before my time. But cool. So during all this conversations, you're getting all this info about the city, and Corvus, you've been busy kind of talking with the guy who's out front, learning the directions and where stuff is. I would love Corvus and Ozo to make perception checks for me.
Sorry, I was trying to get all that pulled up and I failed.
Ta-da!
I think it's almost
Wonderful.
Or I could try to do the old D20 plus whatever.
Yeah, either way works.
Do you know what your plus whatever is?
Nope. Straight up perception, you say?
Yeah, man.
Oh no, that's passive, sorry. Strike that. 4 apparently is my modifier.
All right. Yeah, you're. Yeah, Corvus, you're a bit preoccupied, so you don't notice too much going on around you.
Bummer.
Ozo, you started climbing up on the cart as these guys were pushing it, and then perhaps something caught the better of you, so you kind of climbed down so they wouldn't have to deal with your additional weight, even though it's not that much. But you do notice something kind of off to one side. You see a small child who's been left by their cohorts. You saw a group of kids run off, leave this child kind of against the side of one of these square stone buildings that's been cleaned up. It's kind of a little side street, and they're crying.
Aw.
Do I see this by any chance?
You don't.
Ozo will go over.
Yeah. Yeah, this child looks up at you. And you can see, they've got a scrape on their knee. They're wearing, short pants. They're not rags or, urchinese. They're wearing clothing that they should be wearing. But their knee is all scraped up, and they're holding it and very much crying. And they look at you as you approach.
I will use a key point and do a little hand of healing and just boop.
Yeah, exactly.
Aww.
Yeah, and this is the first time you instinctively reach out and the scrape disappears as you, for the first time, use your subclass feature. And
Yeah.
and you are now a Way of Mercy monk.
Boom. Have 6 healing points, kid, with a scraped knee.
Yeah, The knee
That's
Like
what
more
start
is
with.
teeth he has.
I know.
Gets up and he just grows like 3 years.
yeah. The knee is totally healed. They stand up and like kind of like test their knee and kick their leg, and they smile and laugh, and they give you a little hug and then laugh as they run away after the group of kids.
Slight cold they were coming down with is instantly healed.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. I just fixed everything.
Got rid of that lingering cough.
Yeah.
Cool. Lunine, as you're kind of walking, keeping an eye out for everything, you smell something. You smell something warm that almost smells like molten metal. You ask the guy next to you, he doesn't smell it, like the guy pushing the cart next to you, he doesn't smell anything. And as you begin to smell, you begin to feel heat emanating from your pack where you have that leaf, that opal leaf that you've stored.
I pull it out.
Yeah, you pull it out and like it feels warm and it's glowing a bit. And as you are holding it, the main leaf sprouts a couple of little leaves, and then sprouts a couple more, and then kind of sprouts little roots, and the roots dig into your palm, and then the entire leaf absorbs into your hand. And as it does so, from your hand up your arm, presumably across your entire body, you can see your veins, which were once blue under your skin, now appear opaline by appearance.
I think you're a druid now. Sorry, dude.
And you are now a Fey warrior for your subclass.
Ooh. I'm now very shiny.
Yeah. It's not like it's not like brilliant, but like if you take the time to look at it, like you will notice like instead of it just being blue, there'll be that like fractal kind of opaline appearance to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you were already pretty shiny compared to most of us.
Also true.
Yeah. We're just going extra.
Yep. Corvus,
So did any of them see that?
Yeah. Did we see this?
you don't. Well, no, actually, based on your perception checks, you don't.
Yeah, I don't see shit.
Yeah, because
Someone should go look for Corvus. He might have tripped.
now you'll probably notice when you like have a chance to like have a discussion together, but nobody noticed Lunine taking out the leaf and it absorbing into him.
Gotcha. We're gonna do one of those like, did you get a haircut or are you just shiny now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Corvus, you finish up the conversation you've been having in depth with the lead cart guy.
Yeah, I'm all business.
Yeah.
Got time for looking.
Yeah, and you the caravan's kind of stopped as a funeral procession kind of crosses by on the way to the alcoves, presumably to rise up or go down to wherever this funeral procession is going. As the procession passes you, and you can see there's this litter with a body that is arms like crossed over itself, and like maybe there's some coins on the eye, and like there's boughs of like straw and like wildflowers or some kind of foliage around the body kind of piled up. As you like kind of watch it go by, you notice something that nobody else sees.
The natural one.
Yeah. Well, it goes right past you because what you see is a spectral form of the body on the litter sit up and begin to rise up out of the body. It catches your eyes and it has this look of fear and begs you to let it go.
To let it go.
And
Sorry, I'm a little slow tonight.
yeah, it begs you to let it go. And in that instant, in that moment, you know that if you wanted to, you could keep that spirit for yourself. You could trap it.
Can I see this?
Nope. It's a quick thing. Do you let it go or not?
I hesitate for a moment, and I don't let it go because I'm trying. Because I'm like, I don't know. I'm stunned, I guess.
Yeah, there is something about this about this thing that you can choose to keep it, which you choose to do.
I want to spill out why my decision and how it relates to the backstory, but that would be giving too much away.
Yeah, it's just something.
It's a ghost in the pocket.
Yeah, it's just something that.
Doesn't everyone have one?
Where is Ozo in this moment?
Ozo is catching up from healing the child, so Ozo doesn't see this.
Ozo doesn't see this. Okay, so I'm.
Go ahead and roll me a D100 if you'd be so kind, please.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Big money. 89. I don't know if it went through yet.
Yeah, we saw it.
Great.
If I get a moment to collect myself, I'm gonna look for Ozo to see if Ozo noticed this. And I know you told me that they don't, like Matt knows that, but I'm gonna look for Ozo.
Yeah, you see Ozo about 30 feet behind the cart, rushing to catch up. They're moving pretty quickly, but they don't seem to notice the ghost, or notice that you instinctively motion your palm open, and the essence collects inside your palm, and suddenly in your palm, that kind of ghostly blue energy coalesces into something else. And if the internet were not slow...
It's okay, I'm really impressed that we've made it this far.
Why is this being slow? Sorry about that.
I'm gonna commission a song for the bard in our party.
Oh, yes?
It's titled "The Ghost of You." I've been working on the intro. It goes. Please tell me you got that.
Yes. My Chemical Woman.
It's their best song, I think. Fight me on that if you want. Dead is also acceptable.
No, the Ghost of You is really good.
It's their most emo,
oh, no.
so that's why I think it's their best. Well, I don't know if it's their most emo, but it's up there. We'll keep talking. We're just doing filler while Jared's working this out. So
Yeah.
everyone go down. We're going to go in order. Everyone list their favorite MCR song.
Okay.
I think that mine will be Helena.
What did you roll? An 89, right?
An 89.
Cool. So this blue glowing energy sucks down into the palm of your hand, and you grasp a hold of it, and it materializes into something else. And you have a small vial of red liquid about this big in your hand.
Ooh.
Interesting. I'm going to.
And you.
Coming to and. Go ahead.
Sorry. Fuck, I hate this. Sorry.
okay.
Go ahead, ask your
Go
question.
back to MCR. Oh no, I think that I'm probably gonna like come to and realize what happened in the middle of the street, right? Or like out in the open.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna use a little thief magic to like pocket it away real fast.
Yeah. 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 So you pocket it away, and as you pocket it away, you feel it disappears. And it seems like what you felt, what you saw, was a falsehood. It was a spectral image of what might occur. So that coalescence was not entirely true.
So I saw something pleading to let it go.
Yeah, you definitely saw the spectral essence. But you
It
did...
turned into Kool-Aid.
Yeah, something
Don't drink it.
was different.
Interesting.
And you feel a connection closer to the dead than you have ever felt before.
It is funny you say that, and also that I have already started off perceptifying very poorly, because when this business is concluded, I have something I'm going to look for that I may or may not ask the guide about.
Yeah. But yeah, that is what you notice as you are now a phantom rogue.
Ooh la la.
Yes. Your connection
Yes, okay.
to the dead has increased. Welcome in, Jeff.
You didn't miss much? I don't know. I only got here like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, you've just been on your way to Good Homes and Warrens.
Good Homes and Warrens. Like, for some reason, I kept writing Good Homes and Hearths.
Nope, not
That
it.
does sound like
That's
it
the
fits.
others. That's the other branch in
Yeah.
town.
That was campaign 1 version.
Well,
Better Homes and Warrens.
as you
Good
are
version of
wandering,
Homes and Warrens.
yeah, as you are wandering or leading your way, you're told that you're getting closer, and you see a few different. You come to a more like shopping area kind of place, and you see a few different signs. You see a place called Talon's Tomes. You see a place called Hestia's Have-All, Kovacs Professional Implements. You see Calamine's Lotions, and then you pull up in front of a small store with like big expanded windows with Good Homes and Warrens above the door.
Okay. Looks like we made it. How far away from the docks is this, out of curiosity? This was like a journey, wasn't it? We like.
Oh yeah, like it took you over an hour and a half to get here.
Gotcha.
A lot of that was waiting in line for the alcoves, but
Oh, fair enough. I'm trying to remember my notes from last week and find them. This is where we're staying for the night, right?
This is where we're giving our rugs. We're delivering the rugs.
This is the rug place. Thank you.
yeah.
Okay, I gotta go find that piece of paper that has all the information on it then. AKA.
All right, great. Let's get these rugs so we can go shopping.
Go shopping.
With what money?
Okay, well, I mean,
Well,
yes,
if we deliver rugs.
It's true, we haven't been paid yet. I'm going to look for the I guess, owner of this establishment to conduct our business.
Yeah, so you enter in, and inside is a large furniture store. There are chairs in the windows. There's some very finely made like sofas and upholstery. There's pillows. There's tables and beds. And you can see all this kind of stuff around. Footstools. And kind of in like a you know, like the reference desk of a library, kind of like in the middle of everything. There's a shopkeep there. Kind of like big, tall, like poofed up, spiky hair that's kind of like, you can tell he has tried to slick it back, but like there's just little bits that have like popped up in places. And he's reading a book. This looks to be a gnomish gentleman of middling years.
I walk up and say, Brando Nobblehub, by any chance?
Brando Nubblehub? No, I'm Brando Parcel Hopper.
Parcel Hopper. Then I clearly have written something down wrong in my notes, but I believe that you're the man I'm looking for.
Oh, well, by all means, what can I do for you? And he puts the book down, and you can see it's a book titled "On Being Ubiquitous" by Ives Got It.
I don't read. Says Corvus. Sorry, I think I have some of my notes that didn't get saved for some reason, which is a shame. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna say, I believe you're expecting a shipment of rugs from.
Oh, yes, yes. I am. Wonderful. Bring them around back, and we'll get them loaded into the. Ooh. Yeah, bring them around back.
Okay, so I will.
Wonderful.
I'll go back outside, I guess, where the cart is.
Yeah. Yeah. So you go around the back of the building, and there's like a loading dock there. And this little gnome Brando comes out, and he's got a half orcish looking gentleman with him, and then kind of a brawny human guy with like big like upper body muscles, beer gut, and like really skinny legs. Obviously skips leg day, this guy.
I was just about to say.
Maybe the gyms are not, maybe they don't have any gyms here.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got stairs. You'd think
They got lifts. That's the problem. They're taking the elevators.
freight alcoves.
Yeah, well, you got told that the alcoves were mostly for like freight and deliveries, whereas people generally use stairs,
He must stay on this level.
He must levitate.
which there are many like wide stairwells that seem deeper than you would imagine them to be, but like the steps are deep as well as fairly shallow, actually. But the rugs are unloaded, and Brando is like, "Oh, wonderful! I've been so excited about getting these from Mendarian. I was really hoping this country would come through. These are going to be very highly sought after. They're elvish made, you know."
I did not know. That's, well, I'm glad they made it here safely. I'm sorry for any delays. There was a bit of...
Oh, no, you're well within the delivery window, so that's perfectly fine with me.
Well, this has been very easy. Thank you. And I believe this concludes our business. I'm sure you'll hear from my employer in the future.
Oh, yes, let me get you the certificate of authorization.
Thank you.
And he says, "Oh, well, I guess I should inspect the rugs first. Boys, if you would." And you see the two guys kind of like take big old crowbars, crank up the lid of the thing,
I'll be
And
honest, I still don't know if there are rugs in there or
Dead body.
or like dead bodies.
Brando looks in, and you can see like he gets a big smile as within are a pile of
Rugs.
elegantly crafted rugs. You can tell just by looking at them that these are finely made rugs indeed. And he starts jumping up and down and rubbing his hands together. Oh, I'm going to be the first vendor in town with real elvish rugs from the Verdentious Causeway in hundreds of years. Oh, I'm going to make so much money. This is going to be fantastic. I'm so excited.
I shoot a look over to Jeff's character doing this.
Okay.
He's like, nah, whatever. They're rugs.
We can't hear you, Jeff.
Anyway, I get that he's very excited. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm enjoying this character's
How about now?
persona. There you go.
There
We
we
can
go.
hear you.
Yes.
Eleanor is just like, cool.
Looks like rugs.
Yeah, yes, that would make sense. No elves have been here in hundreds of years, so this is true.
Yeah.
I mean, they're nice rugs and all, but whatever.
Yeah, and Brando is like mumbling, and like he takes Corvus over back to that main desk out in the front. Or actually, it's a little side office that he's got in the back. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your delivery. Here's your delivery certificate. You present this at the bank, and they'll pay you whatever your retaining fee out of this is. That's not really my business. But this clears the funds to transfer back to your employer.
I'm curious, when he opened
Matt,
his
you're
deck, did we-
muted.
What the fuck?
Not you,
What?
Jeff.
No,
No, I
Jeff's
said Matt.
fine.
Matt, you're muted.
Did we actually see the rugs for the first time?
This was the first time you ever saw the rugs, yeah.
Are they actually nice, or is it like what I had in my bedroom as a kid?
No, you can tell from a glance. They're really nice. Like, they are legit, high-quality, elvish rugs. Like, they're probably not like stuff the king would have, but they're very nice. Like,
Great.
like they're stuff.
like-
They're stuff like your dad might buy for his office.
It's not like Canal Street level of rugs.
No. It's like
They're
it's like Fifth Avenue level of rugs.
Hmm. All right.
Yeah. So they're legit.
They're not selling them next to the $5 Coach bags.
No.
Andra saw that
Those
they were
are,
rugs, has already lost interest, and is now like looking around to see what else is in the store.
then when,
A lot of
when
furniture.
all of that is going down, I'd say those are actually very nice, nicer than anything my family had. I think you'll do well with
Really?
those here.
Well, if I can get that endorsement from an elf, I know I'm going to be able to sell. Maybe I'll be able to sell these for more than I thought. Ooh.
Best of luck to you.
Oh well, thank you, my good man. Thank you, Corvus. What was your
An
question?
appraisal fee. To Brando. Once he gets the certificate and explains the thing, I'll say, Brando, thank you very much. This is my first time in Cliffside. Could you give me a little direction towards the bank?
Oh, of course. So the bank is up in the heart. It's in the heart tier. Go up to H1, which is only 2 levels above, so it's not too much of a climb. Just a couple levels up. And then once you're there, you turn left, you turn right again, and you'll see it. It's a big square building. It's kind of like set off from all the others, so you can't like climb on from a roof or anything. And it's kind of about 15 feet. Like the front doors look out over the edge of the scar. So you'll be able to see the scar. It's part of the name because it's the bank of the cliffs. So it's the bank on the cliffs. You know, it's a thing we do here.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I'm sure we'll find it. And pleasure doing business with you.
Yes, this is fantastic work. I'm very excited. I will be in touch with your employer for more as soon as I can get these ones sold, which I'm sure they'll go like hotcakes.
I'm sure he'll be pleased to know, and report back that we had very easy handoff in Cliffside, and I'm sure you'll see one of us soon. Well, goodbye.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. He turns around and goes, Nick, get the sign, get the signage. As you exit out the back door. The cart and the four pushers bid you good day and go off to return back to the docks. And the six of you are left to your own devices.
What else? I mean, we saw a bunch of shops and things. Do we see like inns or taverns in this neighborhood?
So there are no inns or taverns in this particular neighborhood that you noticed. You were told that this is like a shopping and residential area, not necessarily like a tavern bar scene area.
Sure.
We have the ready plank down in the docks, if anything.
The ready plank
Yes.
is where we were recommended to stay, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah.
passed. You mentioned calamine lotion.
Calamine's lotions
Calamine's lotions.
and also Talon's tomes.
Talon's tomes. What level were they at? They were below us, right?
They're on this
Down
level.
the street.
Yeah.
From this level. So Corvus will say, listen, I'm going to the bank to finish this transaction. I don't need everyone at this point. I mean, you're free to mill about the city as you see fit. I suppose we should all stay in the same location tonight, however. Do we all agree?
I mean, we need to go with you to the bank to get paid, don't we?
They're getting paid at the end of the journey or here? They're getting paid here, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought when we get back.
So, again,
Yes, I've got to say, this has been answered before, and I'm...
yes, it has, and none of you paid attention. You all failed.
I think I know the answer, but go ahead.
In the paperwork, once you sign off, you will be given funds out of. Essentially, you'll be given funds out of the bank from your fee that you can dispense to your people.
That's what I thought, actually.
It's a subset of what this banknote that you were just given by the gnome will.
Brando.
Yeah. So, like, it's not like you're going to give this to them and they're going to release X amount of hundreds of gold to you. That's not how it works. This will clear the finances to be sent back to cash.
Correct.
But that will also put in holding the 70 goals per times 6 for each of you. So we'll put that in holding, but to release that requires specifically the signature of Corvus. And you, Corvus, have been told that it is up to you to decide when these people get it, and you have other things to do here. And it's been recommended that you might need some help from these people.
Correct. I was trying to find a good way to levy that to the group. So, the chorus will say, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to conclude this business at the bank. Tight whatever ends I need. You can join me if you'd like. You don't have to, because tonight we should meet back together and we'll discuss the completion of the job, payment, journey back, etc. And I have one more thing that I'd like to share with everyone. But we can get on that. We can get to that later if you'd like to take the day while you have it to explore the city.
Whoa, you can't leave us hanging like that. You can't say you have something to tell us and then not tell us.
Well, I mean, I guess I can tell you now if you need to, but it's up to you. I mean, let's take a vote. Try to be diplomatic. If you want to go to a place right now, sit for a minute, have lunch, have a drink, and discuss business, we can do that. If you want to meet back later tonight at the tavern, at the inn, which probably has a tavern, then so be it. If anyone's worried that I'm going to be taking your money and running for any reason, then you can follow me around all day if you'd like. I really can't stop you from doing that either.
I trust that you'll abide by the contract.
I'm as bound to it as the rest of us are.
Same, but your conversation is certainly intriguing. Is there a place like that we can just see? That we can all sit down?
Yeah, there's a little cafe down the road that you can all see kind of on the corner.
Great.
Okay.
Let's grab some croissants.
Yeah.
Break
Yeah.
the espresso.
In Corvus's mind, he's like, fuck, I was really hoping to have this alone time to think about what I was going to say. But I guess we'll do it now.
You don't need. Then don't set yourself up next time.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, not for nothing, Corvus is really sneaky and really good at hiding.
Hey, look at that over there. Self-check.
And like these are not empty streets. Like there are people around. So Corvus, you would know that slipping away in a crowd, that's a skill you got.
That's true. Corvus is. It was funny because I was writing out answers
Also
to
might
this.
engender some distrust in those of us who are expecting to
Correct.
Yeah, we're all looking at you right now, and you like tense your muscles up and like kind
Holy
of
shit!
slip
Is
away.
that an in and out? And then I'm gone. It's a double entendre. Anyway, so fine. Yes, Corvus, for reasons that I was literally finishing up today in terms of my personality, Corvus will oblige to acquiesce to request, and let's go to the cafe.
Yeah, you go there. You can get like baked goods and coffees or tea or whatever. Yeah, it's fairly simple, but it's like good but simple. Like they do the simple things well at this little cafe. So you can get pastry and like a hot beverage for like 8 copper.
Sure, why not? YOLO. 8 copper is pretty cheap, actually.
Mhm.
How about a black tea and the equivalent of a Danish?
Sure.
I ask the counter or table service, whatever, if there's a local delicacy that is recommended.
Yeah.
Not from this part of the world.
Yeah, the gnome who's running the shop kind of looks up at you, and she's like, well, if you really want something super local, there's this. And she points to, in the display case, it's like a pastry shell that is filled with some sort of cream, or it looks like a cream, or a mousse maybe. And then another layer of pastry, and then like fresh berries on top.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Looks delicious. I'll certainly try it.
Okay, your total is a full silver in that case. For hot beverage and fancy pastry.
I'm gonna have food envy, but also I'm like, oh, but only it's 1 silver.
Andra will get some coffee and a plain roll type thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 8 copper.
Something in the croissant family.
Yeah, anything like that, you can all just mark off 8 copper. If you want like the fancy thing, it's a silver. And that includes a hot beverage.
Black tea. Black.
Black coffee.
Espresso.
Super black.
Sure.
Anyway, what do you have
Alright,
to talk to us about, Corvus?
Corvus will take a bit of a pause as he sort of looks down, as he truly hasn't written the script for this yet. But so the rug delivery is finished, but there is a little bit more business in Cliffside that I have been asked to check into. After our journey here, I believe that I can trust all of us equally, and for what it's worth, I thank you for that. It makes it much easier, I think, to talk to you about this. There is a representative here in Cliffside that is essentially what Cash is in Meridian, but here, if that makes sense.
Another creepy fellow with sharp teeth.
Yes. I don't know what this particular individual looks like, but their name is Darren Dandyfoot, and they're a halfling. They apparently reside at, or in, somewhere in Calamine's Lotions. There are some rumors circulating that have made it back to Cash that the ties of loyalty that Darren has may not be as strong as they should be. And this portion of the mission is a bit of reconnaissance, so to speak, determining where their loyalties may lie, and if there's any sort of reason for Cash to believe that there may be an undermining of of his authority, I suppose, for lack of a better term. It's some politics that are a bit above me, but I know that is what I have been asked to suss out.
I'm assuming these operations aren't necessarily above color, border, ground.
I can't exactly speak to all of the operations. I would say some of your assumptions are trust your gut. However, we delivered drugs today, and that was very on board. So I don't usually get into all of the minutia of the business dealings, and essentially we're not sure what Darren has been up to and if any betrayal of loyalty has occurred or not.
Sounds like you're just asking for a company to go talk to this person.
It has been mentioned to me that I might need some additional support in this. Now, what that means, I don't exactly know. I really hope it doesn't mean combat.
I was going to say, it's reconnaissance, not a hit job.
Definitely not a hit job. That's not what I do.
If
I
you
want to make that very clear. So that would never be asked of me.
I don't think there's any harm in having a conversation with this gentleman. It doesn't slow us down at all.
If you decide to
And maybe
stay
we can
and do
get
this
some
with
nice
me,
potions.
I don't know.
well,
Somehow I doubt it.
we're what? We're all here. It's right down the street. We don't all have to go in. We can just be
It's
within
more of a
earshot.
security.
Yeah.
It's more security for me if something were to go wrong for whatever reason, to know that the team that we have now has my back. The idea here is not that we all show up and make it very known what we're doing, if that makes sense. So
Why don't you invite him out for second lunch, and we'll just stay here.
Second breakfast.
Yeah.
I think a plan I haven't yet finalized one, if I'm being honest, because to be totally fair, I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to do this alone because I hesitated to even ask you, but here it is. If You're certainly getting paid for the work you've already performed. If you do this, I'm sure this will go even further in Cash's eyes if you wish to still.
Cash is inconsequential.
And
We
I
killed
would be more than
tons of
happy.
sharks. I'd hate to see you fall over in an alley now. Got
Cash will
nothing on the giant octopus, man.
sort of chuckle, subdued chuckle.
This Darren person doesn't have like sharks for hands or anything like that, does he?
I've no idea, really. I think they're just a half. I mean, all I know is that they're a halfling, not just a halfling. I apologize. And I'll look at Lunine. That if we were all to do this together, I would do whatever I need to do to put in a good word for looking into the business that you asked us to help with on the way back.
You have yourself a deal.
As you say this, you all hear something bump a table behind you, and you turn, and you see a human woman as she was like standing up from the table. Except for Andra. Andra, you're kind of like thinking about all this in your head. But
Andra.
Everybody else notices.
Wow.
Everybody else notices this woman, and you all see her looking at your table as you all look to her, and you are confident that she overheard everything you just said. And with that, we're going to go to break.
Woohoo!
Guess I should have asked how crowded this cafe was.
Well, live and learn. So we will be back after a short break. We're going to take 5 minutes for a little bio, and then we will be right back at it. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, I've got it. Thank you, NYC Zombie Saw You In. Thank you, Taco Sanmashu. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the new
It's like the bard's
character
time
cards.
to shine.
How
Hello, everyone. We are back. Thanks for sticking with us while we took a little bio break.
Woo.
So, in this cute little cafe where Corvus has just explained to his friends and party members that he's got to do a little bit of intel gathering about this this halfling who's like trying to like screw over his boss and buddy Cash back in Mandarian by breaking bonds of loyalty. And so, like, as that discussion was kind of rounding down, most of the party was jarred by the revelation that a woman at the table next to them heard everything as she was staring directly at that table. So coming back into it right now, this woman is standing up, having knocked the table, and she's got that look on her face that's like, I've been caught. She is wearing just sort of like very casual kind of clothes, a little more frayed at the edges, perhaps. But she is not in rags, but she's not in finery either. So she looks... Everybody go ahead and make an insight check who wants to.
Oh, I definitely want to, but my insight sucks at this character.
I didn't. I'm the only one who didn't notice, so I don't actually get to. I rolled insight, but I'm still completely oblivious and paying attention to my croissant. So
yeah, you're just kind of now realizing that your entire table is looking at something not related.
Yeah.
What is happening with my rolls right now?
Does anyone
Wow.
else want their croissant to have flavor?
So, Lunine, you are the first to kind of realize that this woman, the surprise is that she's got caught, not that you've, like, the information you shared doesn't seem to be surprising to her. What is surprising is that she got caught. You also get the sense that she is scanning your faces, trying to figure something out, and it looks like she's about to say something. Renata, you don't get any sense of malice necessarily, and you don't think she means you any harm. And Selenar, you think she's surprised by what has occurred here for all intents and purposes. So what she does is she kind of is surprised in a moment, and then she like looks around, and she kind of like walks over to the table and kind of puts both hands on the table and leans down and says, "What's the price?"
Corvus lifts his head at that point. He was just talking to Andra about the croissants and like, not now, I'm thinking, whatever, and he goes... He turns on that. I'm totally blanking what I'm supposed to say back, but I'm gonna say it when I realize it.
What's the price in regards to what?
So
Time freezes.
So you know the return for the response phrase is whatever it needs to be.
Thank you. I was right here. I just pulled up my notes. Whatever it needs to be, Corvus blurts out. Like almost like with frustration because he was just being like, "Don't distract me, Andra."
Andra's just looking at him like, "What the fuck, dude?"
So she nods and looks at you, and then kind of like looks out the door and kind of motions her head and leaves and makes to leave the establishment.
Someone pay the bill. And Corvus gets up to leave.
We already paid.
Yeah.
Corvus is gone.
I follow
Okay.
immediately.
Oh yeah, follow that man. A man on a mission.
And I give the look of like, I guess we're going.
Andra will take her croissant with her.
Yeah.
Since that's
So you all head out, following this woman. She leads you outside, down like a block, essentially, down a side street, and then cuts into an alley where the foot traffic has like immediately died down and there's no one around. She's like, And so she looks at you, Corvus, and then she glances at the 5 other people who have followed you.
Andra
Bear
will
with
hand
me.
you the croissant you left behind.
Thank you, Andra. They're with me. Sorry for the entourage.
But they are not. Are they with you or are they with you?
They're with me.
I see.
I cast Charm Person on this woman.
Stop. Do I see this about to happen?
That depends. Are you trying to be sneaky about it?
I guess I don't know how.
So, like, I mean,
Obvious at this point.
yeah. So, charm person, is it verbal or somatic components?
It's verbal and somatic.
Yeah. So that means whatever you're going to say is the verbal component, but it also means that there's like hand gestures involved. That's what the somatic components are.
All right. Never mind then.
Okay.
While Corvus is distracted, stopping Selenar from casting Charm
And-
Person.
Well, Selenar's not casting charm person.
Oh,
I
I.
need everyone to stop casting Charm Person.
How do you two know each other?
We don't. Give her a chance to speak, and I'll point to her.
Well, your employer is someone I am affiliated with. You have come from Mendarian, it sounds like, from your rather robust conversation in cafe.
That is true.
Lesson learned. Go on.
Yes, it is wise to mind where you are. Luckily, you didn't really divulge anything sensitive, so only those who would know would know.
I nod like, well, yeah. I'm an idiot, but I'm not that dumb.
Hmm.
I didn't say that.
Long story.
An average intelligence score, lady.
I'm pretty much average in everything. Okay?
Long story short, I'm the one who let Cash know about Darren. I'm Vala Gorsa.
Bella?
Vala, V-A-L-A.
V-L... What?
Vala, V-A-L-A.
well, A.
V-A-L-A.
Sorry, I'm in an echoey hotel room. Vala Gorsa.
And is she apparently human?
She's human. I knew
I didn't
Cash.
realize traveling the world should be such a secret.
That is less of a secret. I believe your friend here knows what is secret. Anyways, I'm the one who let Cash know about Darren. Things here are delicate. Darren has a few hand-picked followers who are loyal to him and not to Cash. Darren has also decided, or has been making moves that seem to indicate he's trying to run the operation solo and sever any ties to Mendarian, which I know Cash would not appreciate. The rest of the members of the organization are hit or miss. Some may follow Cash, some may follow Darren. But I am not from here originally. I've only been here a short while. And so they don't know that I know. And they don't know that Cash knows. So my credulity with this group is not high. So whatever you're going to do, inviting him out to dinner probably isn't the way to go.
It wasn't high on the list. No offense.
It was the only idea on the list.
Kind of hard to keep a secret that we don't know about.
Well,
Listen, if I may ask, what do you think it is that has the members here questioning their loyalty to Cash?
the rank and file don't care who's in charge. The rank and file are as loyal to Darren as they are to Cash. Darren has been embezzling. I found evidence. I found evidence of his betrayal, his embezzling. He's essentially siphoning money and using it to establish his own independence and power base. And thus, the percentages that are supposed to go to Mindarian have not been what they should be. They've been enough to allay suspicion, but not what they should rightfully be. Darren is determined to make the organization his own, from what I can tell. He's never particularly liked the idea of following the orders of someone else who is not here. So, if you want to try to talk or turn lower members, it's possible. Many of the locals here have mixed feelings about me, so strangers probably going to be a little on their guard, especially if you start talking about things like this. But other than Darren, there's 5 people you should absolutely stay away from, at least in terms of that was loud and unnecessary. There's 5 people you should stay away from. You need to stay away from Paris Swanee, Sulfan Denka, Lucy Silversong, Squazim Shade Supple, and Brunt.
I like how they all have like first name, last name, and then it's just Brunt.
And then just Brunt.
Yeah, Brunt, and who's before Brunt?
Shade Supple.
Skazim Shade Supple. Here, I will give you the names again. So first
I've
up,
spelled them to the best of my ability.
yeah. First up, there is Paris Swanee. Then there is Sulfan Denka. Then there is Lucy Silversong. Skazim Shade Supple. And then there is Brunt.
I feel like we can win Brunt over. Something just tells me that.
We can charm him.
The 5 of them are
Charm him.
the 5 of them are loyal to Darren. Like they have no love lost for Cash, but they are in Darren's pockets, literally.
How big are their pockets?
We met Cash in Mandarian, right? He was like the creepy guy in the hood and the
Mhm.
With
in
the
the bar.
teeth.
And the vampire, like,
Yeah. I thought he was like the dude at the Black Gate.
totally normal. He's totally normal. You guys are projecting.
He
Nah,
gave
we
me this
mean
cool
sussed him
book.
out.
He did.
Yeah, pretty sure we don't like. Selenar didn't like him, so
Andra thinks he's real cool. He gave her this cool
He's about
book.
to pay you 70 gold. Think about that.
cool. Money has so much meaning to elves.
I mean,
Right.
money is very useful in Elvish society. Like,
It's true, but this whole
You
arrangement
just have a longer time to accumulate it too.
yeah.
Yeah.
to Selenar, this entire excursion has been a paid trip across the ocean to another continent that no elf has been to in thousands of years. So,
Well, it is
So
technically
there's
the
a really-
same continent, but yes, I get your meaning.
oh sure, you know what I mean.
New
though.
Island.
Definitely a new
So-
space.
Yeah.
So, Vala, my mission is not to stage a coup or an uprising, form a resistance. It is to gain intel, and if you have evidence, then I would love to know what it is. If you have a plan on how we can gain even more evidence, I'll take that as well.
I got to look at the books. That's what alerted me, and that's what I found, and that's what I sent to Cash. If you want,
So that evidence.
if you want the hard evidence, well, I sent him a missive telling him about it. I didn't like send him the books, because if I sent him the books, then Darren would know they got swiped. So if you want that kind of stuff, you're going to have to go in and get it.
I'd love to go in and get it, and perhaps my colleagues here.
Well, you know how to get in, don't you?
I'm assuming it starts with going to Calamine's Lotions.
Best place to buy what you're looking for at any price.
He wouldn't be able to make me. And I assume I could go. How easily does he take on new recruits?
Well, new recruits, of course, are watched closely, unless they've got recommendation from someone of high enough standing. Just like in Mandarian. However, Darren does employ a lot of people who are adept at subterfuge. So, if you can pose as such a person, or if you can impersonate one of the five,
Could you get me close to one of the five? Close enough to watch? If I can watch them, we might have something to work with.
make a persuasion check. You can do it without advantage, actually.
I might need it because all of my advantage rolls have actually been decent rolls today. WTF, mate.
Damn.
So you're decent. You're like, you put forth an idea that is not bad. It's not a bad idea. And she kind of thinks about it for a minute. Well,
But the DC's 12.
no, she made a saving throw versus your result. Well, it's smart to know where these kinds of people are a lot of the time, or at least what their habits are. I could take some time and find out more about where they are. I can tell you who I can tell. Well, let me tell you what they look like here.
I'm ready.
Okay, so
Keep
Paris.
going over.
Paris, he's one of those subterfuge types, but he's a human male, and he's got like medium length brown hair, kind of combs over to the side, little mustache, usually dressed very nicely. Sulfin is also a human male. He wears brown leathers. He's got a scar on his left cheek, kind of clean shaven or a day or so of scruff usually. They're both fairly like pale or tan skinned, I guess. They don't go out in the sunlight much if they can avoid it.
Sounds like most of us.
Lucy, she's a halfling. You can usually find her with this purple flute that she likes to play. I've never seen anyone else with a purple flute, so if you see a halfling playing a purple flute, that's her. Skazim, he's a gnome. Skazim, he's got kind of a weird, like tricorn hairstyle is the best way to describe it. He's got like a middle part and the two side parts that go up. He's always in robes, but he changes the color of them, and he's a fanatic. So he's got like the eyes of a fanatic, like those intense, crazy eyes. Like, I don't know what he's a fanatic of, but he's intense. And Brunt's easy to see. He's one of the few dragonborn around here, one of the few drakons. He's like deep blue scales, maybe almost black, but and like horns that go up like this. Big dude, doesn't wear much. But yeah, he's a Draken, whatever you want to call him. But I don't think it's going to be a quick turnover kind of thing. I think Darren is still embezzling enough because he's keeping it low. So he's like pocketing the tithe money and using that to like build his own nest egg, essentially, his own starting pot. You know what I mean?
Does he despise cash enough that he would take in someone simply because they shared similar views? Let's say one of us comes here saying, we're disgusted by the organization of Meridian, and we heard better things were in Cliffside. Would that stroke his ego?
Maybe. No one's ever done it to my knowledge. But Darren is certainly egotistical. So flattering him probably work.
Well, I have a couple of possible new recruits standing here. I am...
Well, if you're good at bullshitting and lying, then try it out.
I think a couple of us could be okay at that. I'm a little rusty, but I have been known to be fairly good at disguises. However, I will say,
Well, that's useful.
5 that you've mentioned, it's going to be certainly easier for me to pull off a Paris or a Sulfin.
Yeah. Well, if I'll see if I can dig up some dirt on where their haunts are, and maybe you can, time it so you're them, so you look like them, or whatever your disguise kit is.
I mean, I would need a little time to observe them, if possible.
Okay.
certainly would help. Going in cold,
Yeah.
so to speak, would be very risky.
Okay. Yeah, I can help you out there. I can I'll do a little recon for you since I know who they are, and it's probably better that they don't know who you are yet, right?
Not that I know of. However, my brazen attempted subtle conversation at a cafe has already gone awry.
Well, you're lucky I was the only one there. No other members were in the cafe, and the cafe is not aligned.
Good to know.
That's why I like going there, because nobody bothers me.
I'd like to sleep on some things if you don't mind, but I'd like to meet with you again.
Yeah, I
Talk
need
through a plan.
like a day or so, maybe two, to get a good rundown on their schedules and where they like to go.
Tentatively, let's
Yeah.
say we meet in 2 days' time.
Uh-huh.
The place will be your local cemetery.
Okay. Well, there's a mausoleum kind of thing. There's not a lot of like dirt here in the city because it's all
Fair.
stone. Unless you go like all the way up, and I'm not doing that.
No, any respectable
But
place.
but there's
Well, it's-
there's a mausoleum kind of over that way, and she gives you directions to a little mausoleum. It's ancient, and people don't use it. Like it's not used. It's all like a dwarven one, and like no one goes there or disturbs it because it's like ooh, taboo.
That
but-
sounds perfect.
But she gives you some directions to this mausoleum. Right. 2 days at the mausoleum. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's the deal. I'll see you there.
Yeah, I will. And she nods to you and kind of looks over the rest of you once again, and then turns around and just walks out the other side of the alley.
You'll find me lying in the grass.
There's no grass. She doesn't even turn around as she says it. She just walks.
That would have been
I,
really nice.
I step up behind Corvus and I say, I think you're trying too hard, man.
What are you talking about?
You're up here. I need you back down here, man.
That's just who I am this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm going to be here for 2 days.
that means
Right
we're
here in this alley?
In this cafe for 2 days. Sleep? No. Are you... What kind of question is that? In town. I understand that changes the deal a bit, as I presented earlier. But if you've got nowhere else to be, I'd love to have you.
I will
Where
take
else are we going?
I will take this opportunity to remind a couple of you of things. Lunine, you know that Captain Saltcrust is looking for passage for you.
Yeah.
So I have some time.
Yeah, so you know that's going to take time.
Yeah.
And
I would imagine I was going to be here for a couple of days at least anyways.
yeah, so I just wanted to remind you of that. And I also want to remind Renata that there's a list of names that you can't read that you have been given.
Andra also has her bookstore.
yeah. Yeah.
Andra also
There's
needs
lots-
to go to her bookstore that she...
Yes. Andra also has many things on her list.
Andra has a whole list of random objects to collect.
Yeah. Selenar, you are in a new place, and There is no open sky here. There are no trees like you are used to. So this is very different, very strange. You are underground for the first time in your life.
Yeah, I figured I would be medium uncomfortable at best.
Definitely. Yeah. And Ozo, there is so much history here. There is so much tradition like baked into these walls, even if the people who are like living here aren't of that tradition. And there's nary a sign of green anywhere that you have seen. You've been told that the upper levels, the top 5 tiers, the heights as they're called, are where the farms and like livestock pens are, as well as for those of you who missed the top of the show, there are 2 groups that kind of do the patrolling in the city. The main like city watch guards are called the Pikes. They are headquartered in the Spray Catch. And up in the heights, there are the Salt Guard. They seem to be the like defensive line from like anyone who would come down from like the top of the cliffs. So they are separate entities. You also learned that the city is run by a council of 3 people known as the Pillars. Just as a quick rundown.
And 2 of the pillars have some kind of beef with each other.
Yeah. Renata, there was also mention to you of some kind of arts college in town.
Yeah, a bunch of college girls the bard can hang out with. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're making me sound really skeezy and creepy.
Sorry.
So my point in like saying all this to everybody is that there's stuff to do here.
Yeah.
And break.
And like some of you have like things that you have to wait on anyway to like further your particular interest or plotline. So, and there's also apparently a really good tavern / inn / bar / whatever down in the docks that you've been recommended a couple of times by different people.
I
Actually,
think we should all agree to stay there tonight. Outside of that, you do what you want.
Sure, I want to go back to that bookstore because
Yeah, I would love to read more about the history of the city. It's very strange that people would voluntarily live in a place like this.
Renata, what do you say you and I go to the arts college and I need to be up with some more high society? No offense to all of you.
None.
No, I'm down with that idea. It sounds much more fun than reading history.
Especially if I'm going to sleep down in the docks after months on the ship, I would like to be somewhere.
While,
and he looks at the ground, possibly cleaner.
while Ludine is not paying attention, Andra is going to prestidigitate like a smear of dirt on the back of his robes.
okay.
Prestidigitating dirt. Oh yeah.
I will allow that.
He's going to be snooty about it.
Yeah, no, I agree. High five, actually. Subtle, like
Yeah.
like sleight of hand.
Right.
It
Do I
seems
catch
wise. It seems wise to secure lodging for the next few nights then, and then Andrea, if you'd like to go to the bookstore, I'd be more than happy to accompany you.
Yep. I
Cool.
don't see it.
Down low.
Cool. So it sounds like you're all going to eventually meet at the Ruddy Plank this evening to like secure rooms. Is
Yes.
that correct? We have 2 going to the bookshop. We have 2 going up to the college. Corvus and Ozo, what are you 2 going to do?
I'm following Corvus.
Good.
The standard.
Yeah.
Corvus, you are also free. Like, you know how this whole thing works. You are free to make your own investigations into things if you want to. Like, that is something that you are absolutely capable of doing.
There are a couple of things on my agenda. One is obviously going to the bank because that's part of the business, and Corvus is very business oriented. He had a task; he wants to check a thing off. Also,
The bank is near the college. If you
the
missed
bank
that
is
earlier.
near the college, unfortunately. But don't worry, I can lose these two fools easily. What else was on the list? Sorry, you distracted me. I was curious in trying to find a way to contact Cash, knowing that I may not get an immediate response short of magic.
Cash did give you the name of a place to go.
That is true, and I am looking desperately for that place.
You have not. I will tell you, you haven't noticed where that place is yet. So check your notes.
I have a feeling that, a lot of my day is going to be looking for places in my notes ahead of time. The mausoleum is certainly something that I would like to find in advance.
Mhm.
And here's an extra nerdy tidbit about Corvus that may not come as a surprise, but I want to know where the birds are. Do they hang out anywhere in Cliffside? Are there birds, or are they all down at the dock?
Yeah, you can
Imagine they're up at the height.
you can roll that into your daily investigations. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, or are they at the Cliffside? Like, I'm just very curious if that's like a thing. What are the local avian species in Cliffside?
Yeah, cool. All right. So it seems like you're splitting up into 3 teams of 2 right at the top here.
Roll initiative.
We'll start.
You all die.
We'll start with Andra and Selenar because your go-to is closest here.
Right down the street.
Yeah. So you head over to this bookshop that you saw, Talon's Tomes. It is a book. There is so the sign is like a book that is actually it's a couple of books. It's like they're like a stack of books, and there's a set of like dragon wings possessively like wrapped around the books.
What color are the dragon wings?
They're blue.
That's definitely an Easter egg.
We are level 3.
Is that the moment? Is that the level Carly died?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Definitely true. 100% true.
Out of nowhere, a kobold appears.
Bees!
Right. We are stepping into the Talon's tombs.
Yeah. Inside of Talon's Tomes, you hear there's a little twing, 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 as some bells ring as you enter through the doorway. And there are shelves lined with all kinds of books kind of along the wall. And there's, not too far from the entrance, there is a counter where a bespectacled figure in kind of silver and green robes looks up and like readjusts a little pair of pince-nez spectacles he has on his snout. A brilliantly colored blue scaled dragonborn, a draconine, sees you, and he's got like a little tuft of like white fur or hair just on the bottom of his chin. Not like a full beard, because that wouldn't make sense, but there's just like a little tuft like right on the end. Horns that kind of like curl back over his head, and he goes, welcome to Talon's Tomes. I am Talon. What knowledge do you seek today, huh?
I'm interested in the history of this city.
Ah,
It's such a enclosed space before. It's unnerving.
Very well. I have a few
came to
books
be.
that could help you with that, I think. And for you, madame?
I'm just browsing, really. I have a great interest in books of many kinds, and also, do you sell like writing implements and that sort of thing, or just books that are already written in?
Well, most of my business is, of course, in books. You know, I do also have some magical scrolls for sale. If you are looking for something like that.
I might be interested in that.
But if you are looking for truly high quality writing implements, you should check out Kovacs. Kovacs is he is the one who has all. He specializes in such things. The materials needed to craft is sort of his bag. He likes that.
Understood. I will nonetheless. I will visit him later then.
Well, feel free to peruse the shelves in the meantime.
I would love to.
As for you, sir, histories, specifically about Cliffside, you said, yes? Well, that's fantastic. There are a few excellent tomes. Let's see what we have. And he kind of shuffles off with you to one section of the store here. And he kind of, let's see, 1, 2, 3. These are 3 I would recommend. And he kind of goes back to the counter. We have Cliffside, A History. There's Forgotten in Ancient Cities. And then there is Modern Reinterpretations of Ancient Ruins. These 3 are the best books if you want insight into the history of Cliffside itself, of course.
Spook's ghost appears and says, "Take all 3."
Are they huge? Like just physically? You know, I have a limited.
They're big, but they're not like massive. They're not like 3 dictionaries tied together. They're like that thick.
The entire Encyclopedia Britannica set.
Right. It's like a Webster's Abridged dictionary, maybe the biggest one.
I'm just thinking about if we're only going to be in this city for a handful of days. I don't want to get too much material.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also would browse while perusing this. Anything on the shelves that is either written in Elvish or Druidic at all.
Make an investigation check. $16. Okay. So there are no books written in Elvish. It seems most of them are actually written in Common. Or they are written in... no, they're all written in Common, it seems like, for the most part. As for Druidic, there is nothing... You don't find any books that have any markings of the Druidic code. But you do notice up on top one of the bookshelves, there is a mark which you can interpret through Druidic. That means like authentic authentic creation of, like, it's somebody's maker's mark essentially.
And this is on a book.
On a bookcase. Yeah.
All right.
Which I will tell you straight off, that leads you to believe that particular bookcase was not so much crafted as it was grown.
Ooh.
Oh, the bookcase itself.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting. Mr. Talon, can you tell me anything about this symbol?
Honestly, I've never noticed it before. Huh. Fascinating.
Back from my home, it means genuine, and I thought it was a very strange language to see so far from there.
Really, this is an Elvish symbol. I've never met a full-blooded elf before. I do apologize. I hope I'm not being rude.
You're not. I wouldn't. I'd be more surprised if you had. But yes, I don't know anything about this. Whoever crafted this case, but it is.
But it is
I assume
authentically
it is,
elvish.
druidic in some way.
That is quite fascinating.
Or. Anyways, I think I'll probably take all 3 because I plan to be in this city for some time.
Ah, wonderful. My personal favorite of these is, of course, Cliffside: A History. It's written by an old friend, actually.
Interesting.
Yes, his name's
I'd be
Trip.
curious if you could introduce us.
Well, he
They're
doesn't.
local.
I don't think he's in town at the moment, but he is a classy individual. His name is Trip Sharprunner. He's a bit of a adventuring excavatory type.
Oh, Trip.
Trip.
Oh,
Yes,
hey,
he's
Ruthie.
he's been many places.
Ruthie.
He's a bit of a character.
I bet he has stories now.
I bet he
I'll
does.
keep an eye out for Trip. It'd be fascinating to talk to such an expert of the history of this place.
Oh, it's his bread and butter. He loves a good history. He's been, I think, farther into the depths of Cliffside than anyone else. But he details quite a bit in the book. I'm sure you'll find it. So, all 3 books. That's going to be 2 gold for all 3.
Do I think that's fair? I have no idea the value of gold.
You can make an insight check. Yeah, he seems to be pretty on the level.
Sure. And with my thanks.
With mine, my friend. I do hope you enjoy them. They are excellent books. Yes,
What were the
madam.
names of those books again? Sorry.
Cliffside: A History by Trip Sharprunner. Then there was a modern,
Something about ruins.
a modern interpretation of ancient ruins.
And then something about forgotten ancient cities, right?
Yeah, reclaiming forgotten cities.
All right. While Selenar is looking at bookcases, Undra is going to rifle through the scroll selection that.
Yeah, so the scrolls are not out on display, but there is a price guide that you find.
Okay.
It is predominantly displayed. It lists kind of like basic stuff. Make an Arcana check with advantage, just to see how much of this you get.
22.
22, yeah. Essentially, you see that he's got spell scrolls, and not like all the spells, but like a good number of them. You'd have to ask if you want something in particular. But he's got up through level 3, so he's got cantrips for 25 gold. He's got first level spells for 75 gold, second levels for 150 gold, and third levels for 300 gold. And just as a reminder,
Second, I'm sorry.
second is 150
What was the
gold.
150. Okay. Great.
Yeah, so 25, 75, 150, 300. You can see that they're
800.
yeah.
Great. And third level scrolls are of no use to me because I can't cast them.
Sure. But you get the gist that like he must have a spell book somewhere. So like you get the sense that this guy is probably some kind of intelligence-based caster, wizard sort of fella.
Like he could produce scrolls on demand, kind of.
Well, you know that like crafting these kind of things, like it takes time and effort and money, which is why they are
Right.
expensive. The good thing about them is not only can you use them as like, okay, I cast the spell without a spell slot, but you can copy the spell into your book for like half the time and like half the cost that it would normally take you. So they're good.
Yeah. I'm gonna also kind of glance around and see if there are other see if there is bookshelves of magic books.
Make an investigation check.
Bah.
Yeah, digging around, you find yourself in a very dark and secluded corner of the bookshop, where the walls seem to be like clinging in, and you reach for one of the titles, and it's got an intriguing title, but it's kind of scary at the same time. You pull it out and begin reading in your hands a copy of the dreaded tome, Tusk Love. You found yourself in the romance section.
With my investigations check of 12. I'm going to while we're waiting, while I'm sitting here in the back, cast Identify on Tusk Love. And just cause that's the kind of person Andra is.
Yes, you find it is a copy of Tusk Love, first claimed to be produced in another plane of existence originally, but it has transcended the multiverse, and originally is dedicated to an author whose name has been lost to time. It's one of those like ancient stories that is like reprinted and retold, and the details vary, but
is there a price tag on this book?
there's not a price tag. You'd have to like ask how much it is.
I will carry it around with me while I'm continuing to peruse the bookstore.
Yeah, very good. So as these two are perusing Talon's tomes, we'll switch over to our Hearthbound, or our Heart Tier bound duo of Renata and Lunine. As the two of you, I'd like the two of you to just go ahead and make investigation checks to see how quickly you find your way to where you want to go.
I got a 12
Cool.
and a 15.
So yeah, it's fairly easily you find the correct stairs. The stairs aren't as limited as the alcoves were. The stairs are pretty straightforward and expertly labeled, and they kind of go up, whatever. So you find your way up to the proper level of the Heart Tier, and you kind of find your way around. Lunine, as you are walking through the Heart Tier, which it is much nicer, like the streets are kind of more well repaired, and you can see that there's like people in like uniforms that are like sweeping constantly, like in various spots as you walk. There's like a constant stream of sweepers. It seems like you're in like kind of an official area. Like you see a interesting looking building kind of off in the distance. You see a low circular building that seems to be surrounding a massive obelisk that peeks out in the middle. And you see large homes that are like one front door but like multiple levels and then wide. So like expansive, like you recognize like manor houses and townhouses and estate houses when you see them. Like you know what these are. You also see a few like high-end facilities and prices. You see signs for the Velvet Pillow. You see an elaborately decorated storefront named Sherar's Divinatorium, which has like very like elegant lettering and very like flowery, flouncy kind of vibe to it. You hear before you see a large building that has like music blasting out of it, and there's like a couple of big like bouncers out front, like a Goliath and like a half-orc guy, and there's a sign over it called the Lucky Champs. Seems to be, based on the name and the noises from within, some sort of gambling house. The other thing that you find, Lunine, is you overhear people talking in a group as you're kind of walking around. They seem to be a little bit older humans, maybe a half elf, and they're kind of talking in like those like, we're going to talk about something scandalous now sort of tones. And what you overhear is, oh yes, I've heard of the horrible vandalism out on Callow's Way. Oh yes, of course, the complaints have been filed with the pillars and the pikes. But they've done nothing about it. The vandalism is all over the place. You can't believe it. I know, here in the heart tier of all places, it's just wrong. And those poor folks who live there, they're starting to say it's haunted over there, you know. What? Haunted in Cliffside? Never in my wildest dreams, especially in the heart tier. We're far too refined for such things. Well, yes, of course we are, but Callow's Way, you know who used to live there about 5 years ago, don't you? Well, of course, but surely those people are long gone. Well, perhaps they might be, or maybe they're not. Ooh. Oh, do stop. And they kind of walk off away from you. So you hear a little tidbit over on Callow's Way.
So we're going ghost busting.
I
But
was hoping that I could gather you all tonight.
but you do find
Why'd you show up with a Ouija board?
you do find your way to Shant College. Shant College you find to be a large complex, and there are all kinds.
Are you saying chant or shan't, like you shan't be here?
Shant, S-H-A-N-T, like you shan't be
Okay.
here. You shan't come. I shan't do it. So Shant College, there are very like kind of it looks like studious people kind of going in and out to like a couple of the different various buildings. It's a complex. It's got lawn, first of all. Like there's grass here, and you haven't really seen grass anywhere else. And you realize that it's like beds of grass, literally. Like it's like raised up a little bit, so people have like put soil down and then seeded grass here, just to make it look like there's a lawn, like inside of flower beds, basically. And there's not like any like there's like two topiaries. One of them is kind of in the shape of like a male half elf, kind of like in an interesting pose with a big smile. And then the other one is a more like abstract kind of like dancing form, like, you know, like the tree has grown and they've pruned it in such a way to make it look appealing. So it's more abstract. And you can see that there's a couple of different buildings. Seems like there's maybe 5 that you can see. And there's people going in and out with robes and like clutching either like big books or carrying instruments. And Renata, you can tell that like these are people who are like learning stuff, learning music and art and poetry. You hear poems being recited between people in little like groups and little like quick jam sessions. There's a couple people like tuning their instruments or canoodling on a little flute or recorder kind of off on a stone bench here or there. And there's some people that are just like kind of have taken a step off onto the grass and are just dancing to music that nobody else can hear.
Silent disco.
Right?
Yeah.
Lunine gives the same look to them that Tanner gives the silent disco people.
Oh my God, they've reached Cliffside.
Rude.
But yeah, it is it's a very nice, clean, well-to-do area. You can tell there's probably an entrance fee to like take classes here or something. You recognize private education when you see it, Lunine.
My kind of people.
Right. So you have arrived at Shant College. What would you like to do?
Great.
You're the artsy one.
Yeah, no, I want to see if is there a particular group of people listening to someone play guitar right now?
Yeah, like you can tell that there's like a human woman kind of strumming a guitar over on a bench, and there's like 5 or 6 people around that are just kind of like listening to her play, and she like finishes up in a flourish of ding, and everyone goes woo.
All right, I'll head over there then,
Mhm.
and I will ask if I can join her.
She kind of like brushes. It's not like a lock of hair because she's got like wavy hair, kind of like down across her shoulders, so it's not like in her face or anything. But she kind of like does one of these motions. I don't know. Can you? Are you any good?
He's not.
And I'll play a quick little melody on my guitar.
Make a performance check.
Oh boy.
Fingers crossed. We're here for you.
Right? Here in spirit. All right,
15.
15.
Ah.
She goes, all right, yeah, you can
I
sit.
can keep up with these college kids.
All right, yeah, you got some licks. All right, yeah, all right, sit down. Let's jam.
All right, so I'll sit down next to her. What's her name?
Oh, Arissa Hethridge.
Arissa Hethridge.
That just sounds bougie.
Privileged hippie is what it sounds like.
Well, I am Renata Soul Angel at your service.
Ah, oh, it's nice to meet you.
There's an eagle.
Now let's see if you can keep up. And she starts strumming.
I'm gonna keep up right now.
Yeah. So you jam out for a session and gather like a good group of people around. Yeah.
If I may,
Mhm.
can I, instead of trying to like jam together, can I, during the music, switch to like a solo that kind of pushes her to be like a 1-against-1 kind of.
Oh, like a battle of the band. Thing? Yeah.
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 Yeah, you can do that. Go ahead. Give me a straight charisma check on this one.
Okay. All right. No.
Just to see if you can convince her to go along with you.
Oof. Nope. She
Pretty
is
rough.
not buying this.
Yeah, so you like you go like hard 180 and start doing like ding 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 ding, and she's like, okay. She doesn't get that you want to do like a competing thing, and so she just like matches you, assuming you're taking the lead now.
Mm-hmm.
And so she just kind of keeps up with you.
Yeah, I am sad inside that this did not work. So I won't try to force it again.
Cool.
So I'll just keep jamming.
Yeah,
Maybe
you jam for
slowly
that.
switch back to the style we started with.
Yeah, which when you do that, she takes back over as the lead. So it is like a give and take kind of thing, and like you finish up, and there's like a group of like 10 or 12 people around you now, and they're like, "Hey, that was interesting. That was cool." And she's like, "All right, I've never heard anyone play like that. That's pretty cool. Do you come to the college? Are you new? Are you like a transfer or something?"
I'm just visiting. Heard
Oh.
so much about this college. Thought I'll give it a quick look see here.
Cool.
Is it
Well,
worth coming to? What can you tell me about this place?
Yeah, well, Dean Breezeway, he started this whole place, about 60 years ago. It is the place to go if you can afford it, to learn the best of all the arts and arts and histories. It's a big humanities college, Maddie Cake, thank you very much. Yeah, this place, the dean is a master of everything, like an instrument, poetry, and singing. Like he can do it all. The other four masters are pretty cool. There's the master of art, Shuri. She's a poet by trade, but any sort of self-expression form, like it falls under her, right? There's Parsk. He's the master of entertainment. He's more like a comedy acting kind of guy, like like that kind of stuff. He's a goblin. He's funny.
Okay.
But not really my scene. But some people go for that. The kind of boring stuff is Obadiah Truitt. He's the master of history. So as you want to delve deep into stuff and get long, boring lectures, like he's your guy. But the master of lore, she's really cool. So like you're talking like legends and that kind of stuff. You want to go to CL.
All right.
There are other teachers, obviously, but they're like the four masters, and then the dean, who can do whatever he wants.
Hey, don't mind me asking, but what are the parties like here?
Oh, all right, yeah. They get pretty rowdy, when
Any parties where I can really break out on the guitar?
Oh yeah, all the time. Any of the art college parties, like they're gonna go hard. Play hard, party hard, die hard. That's the art college's unofficial motto, we have a good time. I study mostly in the art college. I dip a little bit into the entertainment college, obviously, because if there's one thing Parse can do, it's put on a show. Master Cugrash, he's pretty great.
Cool. Well, any parties happening tonight?
I don't think there's any tonight. We got studies, and it's kind of the middle of the week, so it's usually a weekend thing. But if you're in town for a while, you want to come back at the end of the week. Like I bet something will be going on.
Yeah, I think I'll be around.
All right, cool. Hey, You can either find me or leave a message for me here, and she gives you an address.
Dad, finally.
Gore. It's like, all right, this is awesome. I like college.
Yeah, this thing about college girls is
Awesome. Thank you, Arissa Hethridge.
Yeah.
A name like that, I can't forget it.
That's the dream. Gonna be on a marquee someday. Thinking about learning some more like folksy kind of music, you know? It's kind of my jam. Maybe something with a little edge to it. It's kind of in the names, like, you know.
Edge is always good. I
Yeah.
think it speaks to people.
I'm thinking of calling it folk rock.
Hmm.
All right. I dig it.
Huh. Gonna make a new sound. Anyway, well, I gotta get going. I got a class in a bit here. But hey, Renata Soul Angel, I'm gonna remember you, man.
Thank you. Tell your friends all about me.
Sure. Well,
That came out weird.
Tell you what.
I say that.
Tell you what. You show up to the party and you can tell him yourself. All right.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Tell
So
your
like, tell your friends all about me.
he's a little rusty.
I mean, Renata came from a very poor town. Like, he did not go to college. There was no college in town.
Mm-hmm.
This is weird.
Flirted with rats.
Cool.
Great.
Yeah, great. Nice meeting you. And I'll walk over to leaning wherever he was standing, be like, oh, check it out. Got this girl's address. You want to go to a party with me?
What the parties he like?
She says they're wild. But lots of music, lots of entertainment. You look like you went to college. Did you go to college?
No.
Huh. Wait, how old are you? Are you still too young to go to college? Is that the thing?
Oh. I mean, I honestly, how does time pass for me?
Yeah, time for you is interesting because like there's definitely cycles that happen, but it's not like days because the moon doesn't move and the sun doesn't move.
Right.
But there's still like hours and time is kept. But it's much more how it feels. Like you know that you've aged.
Like linear as our timekeeping.
Yeah, it's more bendy, wibbly wobbly, if you will.
What's the time? It's a little bendy.
Timey-wimey.
Yeah.
Timey-wimey.
Yeah.
It could be 1, it could be 11. Yeah, it just.
But like you know that you are,
You're fine.
you know that you're like a young adult. So like that's up to you how you want to interpret that. But you get the sense you've been here enough that you have realized that people have like numbers they've assigned to their age, and those seem to indicate how many revolutions of some kind, seasons maybe that they call it, that are here.
Kitty.
Another animal. I don't know. Time is a bit different. I mean, I never really saw the sun much until I came here. So
Are you liking the sun?
it's bright.
Do you miss the moon?
I miss
You're back
mine.
to hitting on him again, aren't
Yours
you?
is broken. But as for my age, I mean, I don't know. I seem as old as you. How old are you?
I'm 27.
How? I don't know. I seem old enough, shouldn't I be?
Yeah, no, I think you can pass off as a college kid. That sounds creepy now. No, no, for sure. Like, you look young.
Lunine's
know-
like well over 100 years old, because technically, but like, yeah, face shit. Like,
Right,
he
but
doesn't.
it's all relative. So like,
Yeah.
you may be 100, but you're
But like,
you're a
also
young
everybody
100.
else in the society I live in lives an extraordinarily long time.
Unless they die.
But you didn't do the school thing.
Huh? What, Jerry?
You didn't do school.
No.
Is that right? We're going to a party though. Not tonight, but like later this week.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Plus, like, I get my music out there more, so I think young people are so attached to music, and I think if they hear my stuff, word will get around.
Well, they certainly seem attached to music, so I take your word for it.
To me, this place will work out.
Don't you the same performance you did at that tavern in Mandarian?
I try not to think about it. That was just stage fright. They're just stage fright.
Well, don't let it happen again, because if I
Didn't.
coming to this party with you,
I won't. I'm
you
gonna
make
leave
me
that at
look
home.
bad.
No, absolutely no. Dude, you hang with me, you're gonna be so cool.
We'll see.
And we cut from there over to our two remaining fellows, Corvus and Ozo. Go ahead, Corvus. Make an investigation check for birds.
Oh, okay. Stakes are
I'll
low.
help.
Great. At advantage.
I mean you know what? Yeah, I think Oza by now might have picked up that I got a weird thing. I'm old. I'm an old soul.
I like birds.
What is that? Oriel. Fuck.
Damn, what is going on today?
Well, luckily for you, you managed to find the most populous bird here in Cliffside, the seagull.
A seagull. Yeah.
There's a bunch of them out on the edge, like 50 feet, which most people tend to stay clear of, like the areas directly on the edge of like the scar. But you go like almost all the way up, and like that last 50 feet from the scar in is just like tons of seagulls, like mine. Tons of seagulls.
Well, okay, but Mandarian also touches the water, so seagulls won't be anything new, right?
Nah, you've seen it before.
No.
They're pretty ubiquitous.
Well, I suppose I was hoping. I'm just musing aloud to Ozo now because I've learned to do that. So Ozo doesn't talk much, and it's awkward if I don't. Guess I was hoping to find something different on this side, but they've got the same goals we have.
It's almost like they're an infestation of the sky.
What else were you looking for? It's easy enough you to find the mausoleum, so like you can mark that you know where that is.
Great. I will be returning there. Tonight. I have to go to the bank.
Okay. Bank is very easy to find once you go up to the heart tier.
What was the other thing? I feel like I had like a laundry list of things. Birds, bank, mausoleum. I think on the way back to the inn tonight, I want to walk just near enough Calamine's lotions to sort of like know where it is, and
Yeah,
if I had to return to it in a pinch.
sure.
I've seen it, put eyes on it.
Yeah.
Maybe the bank is first.
Yeah.
Or next. After.
Yeah, the bank is very straightforward. You present the things, they say, Okay, we will release these funds. We have. My mind just died. Whatever 70 times 6 is. We have this much gold.
Jeff?
420.
420, really? That's fun.
Yeah.
We have a line of 420 gold that is to be set aside from that for signature for Mr. Corvus. And to be released in cash directly to that person.
Okay. Of note, I would have walked into the bank without the mask.
Okay. So just plain old
Has Ozo
human
seen this
face.
before?
Ozo has. If the rest of the party, Andra might have seen it briefly.
I think Andra
that's
did.
it. Yeah. In session 0, Andra would have seen
Yeah.
maskless.
Wonder-
Corvus.
So it is that very plain Joe, nothing crazy, nothing, just a very plain looking man walks into a bank.
Vanilla babe.
Unremarkable,
yeah.
you might
So
You
say.
don't belong in this party.
That is, someone had to be a human finally. That is how I conduct business up until and I will take a moment to say the distinction ish has been also like if I have had direct dealings with someone that had direct dealings with my employer, even though he's going by a different name with them, I have presented myself as masked, but in the bank is otherwise.
Yeah.
So anyway, business concludes in the bank.
Yep. Yeah. All that it needs. Do you sign for the 420 gold, or do you leave that till later? Because you can return after the fact to do that.
You know what? Let's sign for now.
Okay. You can add 420 gold to your inventory.
Whoa.
Let's hope I don't get mugged on the way home.
I'll help.
Mug him?
Mug him?
No, to not mug
Runs up
you.
with it.
So then you're gonna case calamine's lotions. You said, right?
Pretty much.
Cool.
And I'm
Well-
also going to do it
Yeah.
without the mask.
Okay. Are you going to disguise yourself?
No.
Or no? Okay, great. All right. So, you know the area it is. You kind of walked by Calamine's Oceans before. Go ahead. First off, let's make a stealth check here.
Things have been going so well.
Am I
it could be
being
wrong.
stealthy or am I just being far away from you? Or, like,
It's up to you.
what is our casing
How,
zone?
do you want
So I know
to
we're casing the joint?
do you want to help? Do you want to help Corvus in this moment somehow? Is that your plan, or are you just also trying to like be unnoticed?
I'm sure that I would be down to help. I don't know. Yeah, we can imagine we have a system. Maybe I am inescapably noticeable
I would
and you're
think-
sneaky, or
Yeah, I would think if it weren't.
I'm also
and this
stealthy.
might bite me in the ass later, but I would think as of now, if it weren't Ozo, it might actually distract me to go into this, stealth mode case of joint. But because it's Ozo now,
Yeah. Well, this particular stealth
anxious.
check is less about being unseen and more about just not being noticed. It's like it's blending into the crowd, picking up details without anyone else picking up that you're being unobtrusive more so than invisible.
Correct. Okay, got it.
yeah, I'll just help
Yeah.
by
So
not being right next to him, but also
great. So Corvus, you can roll
maybe I
stealth
will
with
go
advantage.
Walk up to the door and with my mask on, and so that's
This is still kind of sad.
people will look at me
Cool.
with my nose.
A 15. Nobody that you can tell like notices anything. After that, go ahead and make an investigation check as well.
Oh man,
I know. I need prayers.
I'm
for this.
helping. I don't know how I'm helping, but I'm helping.
Okay. Yeah. So with a
Should I make
16,
my own check?
well, yeah, because it's kind of hard to help him. Like you can distract him so he's less noticeable, or you can make a distraction so he's less noticeable. But helping him pick up details is harder.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I will be looking too.
Yeah, go ahead and make your own investigation check. So, Corbus, you notice the shop. It appears to be like trying to be. It doesn't appear like it's heavily frequented at the moment, and it looks like it sells potions and like it's like an apothecary basically. It's salves, that kind of stuff. There doesn't see. It seems to be a legitimate business as far as you can tell on the outside.
How about? I mean, what time of day is it? Still sunlight.
Well, like it's all torches and stuff
Underground.
in here because you're underground.
Oh, duh.
But it is later in the afternoon. Like it's early evening probably by this time. So it's also getting to that time of day where like you should, if you're going to like try to get rooms at the inn, you should probably head there soon.
Okay. Okay, we can return to this. I put eyes on it. You know, I didn't
You
look-
definitely know where it
Okay.
is. So that's
know
all
where it
good.
is. And once I get a safe enough distance away, I feel like I've slipped into the crowd. The mask goes back on.
Featureless mask. Very cool.
And as I walk with Ozo, I might have just a little bit of chat on our way back to the inn. If we're not, we can save this for next time. Just all the time. The weebly wobbly time.
Yeah. You all reconverge at the Ruddy Plank.
Before I leave the bookstore, I will inquire about the price of Tusk Glove.
Tusk Glove is 6 silver.
I will buy said
Great.
tome, and I will also inquire about scrolls. Like, is there a lead time to ordering scrolls, or how does this work?
Essentially, if you want a specific scroll versus what he has on hand, you'll have to like ask for it, which takes him a 3-day turnaround, provided he even has
Gotcha.
access to it, which he doesn't guarantee.
Right. And what does he have on hand?
So he's got like all the wizard cantrips on hand. He's got an assortment of level 1 and level 2s, and then the like 3 most popular level 3s, which I'll get you a list on that, and we can
Great. Sure.
do that. So you all reunite at the Ruddy Plank, where you find a boisterous facility full of people having a good time, drinking. There's a person up on a little stage, like strumming along on some kind of weird, like lap guitar setup thing. It's a shamisen, if those of you who might know what it is. Guys like playing it with a spatula kind of thing. So there's a shamisen being picked on the stage. There's a bunch of people like jamming out to that music. Behind the bar, there is a woman who is slight of build, pale blue skin, seafoam colored hair, with a big warm smile, talking to people at the bar. Everyone go ahead, make a perception check for me real quick as you enter this bar, please.
Oh dear. Nah, reading my book. Apparently while I walk. I don't see shit.
Deal with it.
What is happening?
Apparently, percepting is better than investigating.
Wonderful. Great. Selenar, Ozo, and Renata. you all hear a conversation between two hushed figures kind of off to the side away from the main din. What you hear is a conversation about the performance on stage. Like, one guy's like, what the hell is this? Like, this is what you got? Like, what happened? What happened to the dancer? And the other individual is like, well, missing. Rinny went missing. I don't know what to say. Like, she hasn't been here for a couple of days, I guess. Like, it's wild. Yeah. I don't know what to say. And so it seems like this is a filler performance. The actual performer who's supposed to be there, Rinny, is missing. Hasn't been here for a couple days. Renata, when you hear the name Rinny, your pocket begins to feel, you begin to hear noise coming from your pocket. You begin to hear musical notes.
What kind of noise?
Like musical notes. Like a little song.
Right.
You begin to hear like da 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 da, coming from your
Am I
pocket.
the only one who hears this?
Nobody else seems to notice it. At a quick glance,
In my pants.
nobody else is like looking. Nobody else is responding to it. It's just like it's like a phone ringing in your pocket, and it's slowly getting louder and louder.
Right. So I'll reach into my pocket, and I'm guessing I'm pulling out the piece of paper.
You pull out the paper, and the first name on the list, you see little musical notes scribble over it, and suddenly you can read the name, Rinny Swiftcrest.
Rinny
Swiftcrest. And that is where we will end tonight's episode of Nuuli Forged.
Nice.
So we'll end there this evening. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll do a quick round of goodbyes. I'm so glad that this stream worked well, which is great. So we'll be back next week. We'll be a little delayed. Might be like 7:15, 7:20, because I need to walk back to the hotel from where I'm working at 7. So hopefully we'll be a little delayed, but we will play next week.
Holy shit, that's October already.
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
So big shout outs, of course, as always, to Ives Got It. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a great mod. Thank you, Tacos and Mashu. Thank you, Matty Cake. We'll go around, say our goodbyes. I'll figure out who we're going to raid. Let's start at the top of. Let's start at the intro for people who didn't get a full intro. On the top, Selenar, take it away.
Hello, I'm Jeff. I played Selenar, and I will do so again next week. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Unless he dies somehow.
Wonderful.
One of the seagull
Mystery.
accidents.
Yeah.
Renata.
Hey, I'm Mike. I played Renata. Come join us next time, where potentially we'll go to a college party.
Love it. Ozo.
Hello, I'm Ozo, and I'm also Amber, and someday Ozo might talk more. Maybe not.
There was gotta be.
Tune in
I
to
was gonna
find out.
force you to talk.
Well, thank you so much.
It'll just happen at the top of the stream next time.
Lunine.
Thanks for watching.
It's Lean's
Yeah.
elbow.
What? What'd you say?
Lean? Who leans? You lean.
Me lean?
All we can see is your
Uh,
left elbow.
Oh,
No, that's not true. I can see.
Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry. The curse of a swivel chair is I swivel. Thanks for watching. Train of thought is gone. See you next
Sorry.
week when me and Renata go to a college party and see what happens.
Wonderful.
Just hope my perception rolls are high enough.
Corvus.
Uh-huh.
Do we have any of the green and blue fruit left? I actually think I do.
It's on the
Somebody
ship.
does.
It's on the ship.
Oh, we should bring it to the party.
I
Missed
put
an
one of each
opportunity.
fruit in my
No.
bag, so it's a multi-miss.
Okay. Corvus, we're up to you.
Hello, I'm Corvus, played by Matt, and yeah, he'll talk a little more next week too, whether you like it or not. See you then.
Wonderful. And Andra.
Okay, that's me. My name is Sarah. I have been playing Andra, and we are Nuuli Forged, and we have a YouTube channel where you can watch our past episodes, as well as follow us on whatever social media is currently hip with the kids. I have no idea what that is anymore.
It's not X.
Wonderful.
No.
Well, we're on just about all of them at some point. And I have been Jared, your humble dungeon master here on Nuuli Forged. Thank you so much for joining us. Please hop in this raid. We're going to raid Magia RPG. They are playing episode 7 of Scum and Villainy, which sounds exciting.
Ooh.
So let's hop in them, let them know that they've been newly rated, and we will see you right here at like 7:15ish, 7:20 next week, October it'll be October. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Be kind, be safe, and we'll see you next week. Thank you all so much for being here. Goodbye.